Good afternoon. Welcome back to another segment. We are almost done, y'all. We are almost done. But welcome back to another segment about showing up for your business. And I thought that this segment I wanted to kind of talk about really like go into detail. I've talked about it and touched on it in some of my videos, but I really wanted to come on here and really give you the backstory to why I decided to show up for my business in this way, right? This month. So if you don't know, my name is Ebony Rose. I am a social media consultant and strategist, and I help brands build from the ground up, refresh, all the things, right? So this one is titled How I Showed Up for My Business This Month. And I have some questions that I want to answer. So, um, what made me decide to go live every day this month? Well, like I had mentioned, I did have a client who is working with me and they wanted to start building up their YouTube channel. And I said, okay, yes, great. Now I've worked with like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even like websites, but I never really had a client that wanted to just focus solely on YouTube, right? I've had clients that have YouTube channels and all that, but really deciding to grow their YouTube page, right? So I said, what better way for me to really learn this than to do it myself? And that is my whole thought process when I do things. I don't just do things just to do them, right? I rebranded, I completely started my Instagram over literally from the ground up because I wanted to teach people how to build your social media from the ground up, right? So I started with Instagram, then I went to TikTok, and now I'm doing YouTube, right? So that was the main reason why I decided to start this journey, start this series on YouTube, because I wanted to be the first partaker of it. That I feel like that is like the only way that I can truly help my clients is if I put myself in that place and really do it myself. So that was why I decided to go live every day, because I'm like, I don't want to just do it once a week, right? I really want to see, like, I really want to put everything into this and really see what it takes to grow on social media, on YouTube specifically, right? So I started out, let me not get ahead of myself. So showing up daily actually required. What did showing up daily actually require from me, right? It required my time, it required my energy, and it required discipline. I had to take time, I had to set aside time to record because I pre record all of these. They're not like live in the moment, right? Because I have other things that I'm responsible for, and I can't always be sitting here at my desk at 1 p.m. to go live. So I have to make the time to pre record these videos and make sure that I schedule them out so that they go out, every day for the month, right? And that requires a level of discipline, that requires a level of focus, dedication, commitment, all those things, right? So, how did it feel in the beginning versus how it feels now? How it felt in the beginning, I was like, okay, I'm doing this. I ripped off the band aid. I said, there's no turning back now. I remember it was a Sunday and it was, I believe it was February 1st. Yeah, it was a Sunday, February 1st. And I knew in my mind that I wanted to do this. I had my topics, well, most of my topics already laid out. And I got home from church and I was so tired. I was so exhausted. And I said, I have to record a video. So my first video actually went out at 4 p.m. instead of 1 p.m., but it was okay. At least I completed the task. So it felt like a little overwhelming at first because I was like, can I do this? Can I stay committed to this journey that I'm trying to do? And then I thought about, when I started my rebrand and how I was posting every day for 60 days. I posted twice a day for 60 days on Instagram because I wanted to one grow my Instagram, and then I wanted to bring awareness and visibility to my brand that was coming out at the beginning of 2025. So I had to remind myself I've done this before. It's not the same level of intensity as that was. But I said, I've done this before. I've built that muscle of being consistent. I've built that muscle of being disciplined and showing up. So it felt a little overwhelming at first, but then towards the end, it got easier. And then when I started to see results, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like how it's actually helping me so that I can help someone else um build their YouTube, right? Um, Days you did not feel like going live but did anyway. Now, and I believe I had like a segment on this, showing up when you don't feel like it. I think that's what it was called. But there were a lot of days where did, so I don't sit here every day and I don't go live, right? But there were days that I didn't want to record. Like there were days where I was tired. I think I was coming down with something one day and I was just like, I don't even feel like recording. But I knew I needed to, because I didn't want my videos to just stop. People were actually watching my videos, commenting on my stuff. And I'm like, I can't just drop this. Like, I have to do this. I have to push through. I have to show up anyway. Like, even though I don't feel good, even though, chaos was going on in my house, like I had to do it anyway, right? So I had to really push myself. And what kept me going was remembering my why, and realizing like the whole why that I'm doing this, right? Yes, it's for my business as well to help me grow, but it's also for me to help my clients and help whoever watches this to know that it's possible if you can push past that uncomfortable feeling and push past and just continue to do this anyway. So I think in those moments I really, really had to just say, okay, just sit at your desk. All you have to do is sit here and go through your notes and just talk. That's all you have to do. And before I knew it, I was done. And I could check that off of my list for the day and I was good. So I really had to push through some days, but most days it was okay because I don't mind doing this. I don't mind sitting here talking and recording about things that I enjoy doing, right? What changed internally as you stayed consistent? What changed? That is a good question. So I believe for me, I have always been one that wanted to go in the direction of being a thought leader in this specific niche of social media as a consultant. And I feel like, I don't try to compare myself, but I always want to bring something different to the table. Um, I have a different experience than a lot of people. So I feel like that alone gave me the confidence to be able to talk about what it is that I know based off of my experience, my own experience, and the interactions that I've had with my clients. So I feel like internally, I feel like I'm becoming a better speaker, and I am becoming a better leader, and I'm becoming a better business owner by doing these and showing up physically, showing my face, because before I rebranded, I was very terrified to show my face, very terrified to speak, and show what I knew, for fear of people saying, oh, what does she know? Who is she? She doesn't know what she's talking about. That's wrong. So I feel like internally I have grown in that area, and I'm very, very proud of myself for that. That was a good question. What showing up daily produced tangibly? So subscriber growth, engagement, visibility, right? So that is kind of what I talked about a few days ago, if not yesterday. So when I started going live this month, February 1st, I had a total of 26 subscribers. I thought I had a screenshot so that I could pop it up on here, but I could not find it. But I had only 26 subscribers. Now, before I started going live, I would do shorts. Like I would post my shorts on my YouTube, for my business Instagram. They would be the same as that platform, and I would just bring them over to YouTube. So I slowly grew from those, and those were doing very well. Like those weren't bad. But when I started to go live, I noticed, and I did also, I want to be transparent. I did promote three of my posts, And that really helped me too to become more visible. I said, I'm going to invest because I want to do all the things. I said, I'm going to invest and I'm going to promote 3 of my posts. And I believe that that helped me push me out, to other viewers, other people on YouTube. And now I'm at I think I'm at 234. So from February 1st to February 27th, I have grown that many subscribers. It's crazy, right? And I'm building up this credibility by going live every day. And I'm really, really considering doing this again in March because my goal is to hit 500 subscribers, right? Because I'm really, really trying to be in this so that I know what I'm talking about and know what I'm doing. That is the only way that and I'm just speaking for myself, that is the only way that I can feel confident with helping my clients and other people that need help or just have questions about growing on YouTube, right? So that was a huge, huge win for me. And I'm very, very proud of myself that I did stick with this. Speaking of sticking with it, the next question is why consistency builds trust faster than perfection. People see that you're showing up, right? Plain and simple. They're seeing that you're showing up. They're seeing that you're staying true to your word. If you're saying that you're going to go live every day, they may be looking for your live at that specific time that you said. And even if it's not every day, if you're saying that you're going to go live once a week on Mondays at 5, they're looking to see that you're live every week on Monday at 5, right? That's going to build trust. People are going to come back. I've had people that are return commenters on my content, and I've seen other people on YouTube where they're showing up and people will just constantly engage with their content because they know, oh yes, I'm going to hear from them tomorrow. I can't wait to hear what they talk about next. So you have to be consistent rather than trying to be perfect, because if you try to be perfect, you're gonna talk yourself out of a lot of things. And we've talked about perfection and procrastination throughout this whole month. So please, if this is your first time watching me on this video, make sure you go back through this series under the playlist showing up for your business, and make sure you go through each video. They're not long at all. I try to keep them under 15 minutes so that you can digest it, so that it's easy for you to easy for you to digest and work with and take the tools so that you can utilize this in your own business or your brand, or if you're an influencer, whatever it is, right? So what has this confirmed for you about showing up for your business? This has confirmed that when you show up for your business and be consistent with it and be disciplined, it brings a level of appreciation to what you're doing, because you are showing that you have faith in what you're doing, and you're showing that you believe in what it is that you have to offer. You have to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to show that you believe in what you're doing. You have to make it feel authentic, right? People can read straight through when it's not authentic. So I feel like that has confirmed that for me by anytime I do something like this, consistently for 30 days or 60 days, it confirms to me that I have what it takes, that I know what I'm talking about, that I know what I'm doing. And this will fall into the laps of whoever needs it. Everybody's not going to be for you, and that's okay. But just trusting and believing in yourself and what you have to offer really, really shows up when you continue to be disciplined and consistent with showing up for your business. So some encouragement for business owners and influencers who underestimate small repeated actions. I will say, keep showing up. If you have to, and we talked about repeating things and being repetitive last week, or either this week or last week, and people are watching. I saw a video, oddly enough, that was talking about this very thing. You could be showing up consistently for 6 months saying basically the same thing, And then like you have that breakthrough moment where somebody reaches out to you and they're like, I want to work with you, and they're willing to pay whatever it is that you're offering, right? Because they built up that trust silently, and they're watching you silently, and they're like, oh, this girl knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about. They know their stuff. Like I want to reach out and I want to work with them. So I encourage you as a business owner to keep going. Even when you don't feel like showing up, you have to show up, because that is where you're being built. Like if you give up so quickly, you're never going to get to where you want to be if you don't sit with the discomfort. We talked about that as well. Sit with the discomfort of this whole process, learn from it, and then grow from it. Because when you have discomfort, that is the time for you to grow. Um, so this is what consistency looks like in real life for me. What does it look like for you? It could look completely different for you. You don't have to go live every day. You don't have to do something for 30 days. I do encourage it because it does give you an opportunity to see what it takes and to see what can come from that, right? And again, this is the type of stuff I talk about with my clients in my 3-month program, where I really go deeper. I have other services, but this is what we dive deeply into in my 3-month program. And I really, really would love to hear from you. Like if you are somebody that's struggling with visibility or being consistent or being disciplined or, working on your confidence, reach out to me, ebonyrose.com. Okay. Go to the work with me tab. And yesterday's video, I actually did like a screen share of my website so that you can see where you can go. Reach out to me, book your free consultation, and let's get you started, because my 3-month program starts in like two days. It is a Sunday, but that week, that week after that Sunday, that's when people are going to be booking their sessions with me, and we're going to be hitting the ground running, because this is the time for us to execute. I'm going to keep saying that this is the year of execution for small business owners, content creators, all of us that have a desire to be visible online and show up for ourselves and our businesses. So thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow for the last day of the month of this series. And who knows, maybe I'll have my topic for next month ready for y'all to share. So stay tuned, and I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for watching.